Have you done enough in the last 3 years in your first term as an MP and campaigned hard enough to hang on to this seat?
Yeah, I hope we have, but that's up to the people of the community to decide. But, the last 3 years we've spent so much time helping people directly. We've advocated for over 4,000 constituents directly, getting people out of their cars and into homes. We've served over 20,000 community meals across the electorate that I paid for by actually donating some of my salary to the community as well. We've been able to get $3 billion for social and affordable housing across the country. We've been able to put a hard cap on emissions and make sure no new public money is going to any fossil fuel projects across the country. So I think that, we have a really, really positive record to stand on, but there's so much more to do. We're still facing a climate crisis, we're still facing a housing crisis, and we're still facing a cost of living crisis. And people want to see action on that. And the only way we're going to get action on that is by keeping the Green seats here in Brisbane and by voting One Greens across the country. Because then we'll be able to get dental into Medicare, we'll be able to build public housing across the country, and we'll be able to stop new fossil fuel projects, which is all the things we know we need to do to make sure that this country has a prosperous and sustainable future.
This electorate really came down to the wire in 2022. I've had a look at the voting cards, and on yours you've got Labor as the second one to vote for. Labor likewise has you as the second one to vote for. How big of a role do you think preferences are going to play in this electorate when it comes to the final vote count?
It's a good question, but I think preferences play a huge role in almost every seat in the country. It's quite rare that MPs will win their seat by getting 50% plus one of the vote just by themselves. So I think it's always important that you're out there talking to people, even if people may not have your how to vote card in their hand, but you should still vote, talk to them, you should still engage with them and see what people's issues are and whether or not you can find common ground with one another. But I think that, preferences will play a part in this electorate, as they will in countless electorates right around the country.
Oi, if you reckon democracy in this country isn't broken, then I've got a bloody harbour bridge to sell you. Let's talk about the absolute circus going down in Brisbane today. Yeah, I'm talking about the Greens, the Libs, Labor, Sky Bloody News, and whatever reheated political leftovers they're dishing out to voters, like a stale meat pie from a servo. So there's Stephen Bates, right? Greens MP for Brisbane. Nice enough bloke, says he's helped over 4,000 constituents. Donated part of his salary. Handed out meals. Good on him, honestly. But let's not pretend this interview with Sky News wasn't anything other than a staged PR puff piece, with more soft lighting than a Bondi influencer's Instagram reel. Sky News, the unofficial mouthpiece of Peter, nuclear power fantasy Dutton. Playing friendly footy with a Green MP? Mate, pull the other one. Before we dive into this made-for-TV meltdown, where Sky News plays cheerleader for Peter Dutton, Brisbane's Greens MP is out here dropping truth bombs, and a $600 billion nuclear dream is being sold like it's a bargain deal. Smash that like button like it's the mainstream media's credibility. Subscribe if you're sick of sugar-coated headlines and billion-dollar bias. And grab the new early vote, late decision shirt. Just $16 for the next 48 hours. Wear it while the spin cycle keeps turning. Now, before you start typing up a comment calling me a cooked lefty or a secret lib, let me say this. All of them are full of it. Labor, Liberal, Greens, doesn't matter. They all rock up with their pre-written talking points, their branded merch, and their shiny pamphlets promising to fight for the community, while the real issues, housing, climate, cost of living, get thrown in the too hard basket faster than a dodgy snag at a Bunnings BBQ. Let's break down this election day farce. You've got Labor and Greens preference swapping like they're on Tinder, while the Libs are still trying to convince us that pouring $600 billion into nuclear power is somehow more realistic than fixing the housing crisis. Are you kidding me? That's $600 billion for nukes in a country where people are living in their cars. But nah, let's keep throwing money at fantasy tech we won't even have ready till half of us are dead or underwater. And you know what the media does? Instead of grilling these people, they stand there, smiling, nodding, and going, "Thanks so much for your time, Stephen." Like it's a bloody talent show audition. This isn't journalism, it's theatre. And the worst part, most of us are too exhausted, broke, or bloody disillusioned to care anymore. They know it, and they bank on it. Take a look at Windsor State School. Sausage sizzle out the front, Voters lining up in the sun like they're at a music festival. Except the band is 3 politicians who sound the same, but wear different colours. Democracy sausage? More like democracy distraction. You reckon you're participating in some grand civic duty by ticking a few boxes between mouthfuls of tomato sauce? Come on, mate. This system's a joke, and the punchline's on us. Stephen Bates talks a big game. No new fossil fuel projects, hard cap on emissions. Dental in Medicare. Sounds grouse, but where's the follow-through? They've been in Parliament, yeah. But how much power do they really have when Labor can just smile politely, pocket the Greens' preferences, and then keep approving coal and gas like it's 1995? It's like trying to plug a busted hose with chewing gum and good intentions. And then you've got the Liberals, still trying to gaslight us into thinking climate change isn't that bad. As long as we have more coal, more gas, and some nuclear dreams built by 2050. Mate, that's not a plan. That's a bloody fairy tale written by oil lobbyists and read aloud on Sky News. And they dare call themselves the adults in the room. I wouldn't trust these Muppets to run a Bunnings sausage sizzle without setting the place on fire. Now, don't get me wrong. People like Bates probably mean well. But meaning well and actually making change are 2 different beasts. The real problem? The whole system is designed to make sure nothing changes. Voting cards, preferences, smiling interviews, it's all theatre. A big, glossy distraction from the fact that billionaires dodge taxes, renters get screwed, and the planet's cooking like a roast chook in a broken oven. And the media? Don't get me started. You think Sky News gives a toss about the average Aussie battler? They'll flash a quick image of a flooded town, or a family evicted from their rental, then cut straight to a panel of grey-haired blokes in suits debating why billionaires should get more tax cuts. It's like watching a footy game where the refs are barracking for one side and the other side's been told to play nice. But here's the real kicker. Every year, more of us get fed up, tune out, and stop voting altogether. And that's exactly what they want. Because when we're not paying attention, they win. They keep slicing off bits of our future and selling it to the highest bidder, while we scroll through TikTok and tell ourselves none of it matters. So, what do? We stop treating elections like a bloody festival. No more snag and smile selfies with politicians who wouldn't know the price of milk if it hit them in the face. We hold every one of them accountable. Greens, Labor, Libs, all of them. We demand actual change, not pretty words on cardboard signs and token interviews on national telly. And if you're sick of this rigged game, then maybe it's time to shake the whole table instead of just changing the players. Because as it stands, we're voting between the chef, the waiter, and the dishwasher. But the menu's the same. And we're still starving. Smash that like button, like it owes you rent. Sub, if you're done being lied to with a smile. And don't forget, grab the early vote, late decision tea. Only $16 for the next 48 hours. Wear it proud. Wear it angry. And maybe next time, let's stop pretending this system works and start building one that actually bloody does. Catch you in the next one.